What's up, everybody? It's Lurker here, coming at you with another track explanation video. Today I'm going to show you how I made my song Journey, which is the second song on my EP Wait Too Long. That EP came out in 2015, and so as a way of sort of celebrating its 5-year anniversary, I wanted to kind of show people how I made those songs. So Journey's this week, Fiji will be next week, Evolve, and so on. So yeah, I already did a track explanation video for Chilean Sunset, which I will link in one of these corners. And I'm just gonna, continue that tradition. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into Ableton, and I'm gonna show you sort of how I made Journey. The little samples I use, the way I programmed the drums, the way I wrote in the drums, the bass, the synth that I use, and kind of like those boops that you hear as the intro. A couple of the plugins that I used originally do not work. One of them doesn't work with this 64-bit Ableton program, the Tal Electro, but fortunately this microchord makes pretty similar sounds. So I've substituted that to show you kind of the sound there and to show you the chords there. The bass I used Simpler, and I just put a sub sample in there and then wrote in different notes. The boops was the FM8, which I don't have anymore. That's a Native Instruments plugin, but I recorded the audio for that, so still got it. So yeah, without further ado, here's that. Starting out with your classic lo-fi vinyl sample, and I just use a drum rack for the drums, and Vengeance House samples no longer do that, but that's what I used. So that one other sample, this shing sound, that is, you guessed it, a trumpet mouthpiece being pulled out of the trumpet. So yeah, I thought that was kind of creative. Pulling the vinyl back in there occasionally. Here's that bass. Here are the notes for that, if you want to take a screenshot. So with a Tal Electro plugin that I had before, I automated the filter and things like that to make it sound better. With this, it's I'm just kind of filtering it live here. But those notes, if you're interested, since it already came up, are it's a B flat chord inverted. It's triad. B flat minor, and the F sharp, you put that on bottom, and then you slide your top two fingers down upon inverting, so then you're making an F sharp minor chord, and then you kind of do a leading note up top, back up to the B, not inverted this time, and then back down and play only two notes. It sounds like this. Without the leading note. But if you go to the boops, it's the same notes basically. It's just a different rhythm. And I think the third is maybe omitted a couple times. But yeah, it's basically the same notes. Okay, let you listen for a sec here. So the next part I should explain, I guess, is the drums. I used to just write in the drums, pick a bunch of samples, put them in this drum rack here, and then write them all out, and just feel it out, listen to it, and just write it out. Like, I'm a drummer at heart, but I didn't have a drum set when I was in my apartment or dorm room. So I would just write these out here. And, I made some interesting patterns, some 64th notes and some triplets. See if I can. Let's try to sample some of these. Let's try to solo some of these, rather. There's so many that I didn't even use. Yeah. And then one of my favorite things, where is it? There's this shaker. All those combined makes this. Or this, rather. So yeah, I just painstakingly wrote that part out. And now I don't really use samples. Like, I'll use some splice samples, some, decaps, drums at knock, or, what have you. But I typically use the Roland TR8 or, the Analog 4 or some modular synth setup, the Vermona Twincussion for percussion and drum sounds and things like that. But yeah, as I said before, kind of wrote this stuff out and just, used what I had. Okay, you can't forget the horn part. After this chill part, So that horn there is my friend Claire Lorenzo playing that. Shout out to Claire. She's awesome. And I just have this dry part up top and the wet part on bottom. Why I doubled the track, I'm not 100% sure. But I panned it to the right a little bit too. I don't know. There's just the reverb. And some of them are reverse and some of them are played forward. I kind of, just chopped them up and tried to extend the song by doing that. Then, after that, after the horns, it kind of goes back into this chorus part, and you heard those chords. Just, this. A lot of synths make that sound. So you can too. I think I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a square wave. I'm not sure. Don't kill me. Triangle wave. Leave a comment. Okay, so yeah, after that little chill part, you get this a little drop. My first drop. And I just kind of, pitched that down, and it was cool. It kind of goes back into it, and you're like, where's the other stuff? But comes back in. Horns come back in with a very quiet piano. Piano comes out. So that's, I don't even know what you would call that. Maybe a bridge. And then it goes back to sort of like the beginning again. You know, I just like never want the song to end. So it kind of goes back to, yeah, the theme of the song, which is these chords. With a few mistakes, you know, but it goes back to there, and then finally, piano comes back in again, a little bit stronger, and I kind of sampled myself playing the piano and chopped it up a little bit. You know, I was inspired by other hip hop records doing a similar thing, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna try this out. Synth is so loud. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about with that sampling. And then in the drums, you know, like got the trap drums and then this weird breath thing. I don't know. I don't know if I would do it again, but it's there. And these hats. It's my favorite part. Taking us home. And then yeah, and that's pretty much it. Piano at the end. That distortion, I think it was something wrong with my recorder. I'm not entirely sure what happened. It was like the DR40. I still use it. Sometimes there's some noise. So with that being said, that's Journey in a nutshell. You know, it's about, 10 or 15 minutes of explanation of the song, and I could probably go longer, but I kind of wanted to keep it concise, and I just hope that everything I said made sense to you. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and I'll do my best to respond. I'm also on social media, so hit me up there. And if you want to buy my music, the best way to do that is on my website, lrkrmusic.com, LRKRmusic.com. And you can get sweatshirts on there too. I don't want this to be an advertisement. So next week I'm coming out with another video explaining Fiji, which is the third track on Wait Too Long, the EP that came out back in 2015. So, continuing with the 5-year in a couple months anniversary celebration, I'm going to be doing explanation videos, going forward. So look out for that. Subscribe, like the videos if you do, leave a comment, and thanks for checking it out most of all. So I'll catch you next time. Peace.